My name is Richard Voltaire.
My name is Hudson.
And this is Real Talk with H&R. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with a second episode. Yeah.
Try to do two at once in one day?
Something like that, you know what I'm saying? So it makes it seem like that we're like, you changed. I just took off my sweatshirt. He changed his hat. So it's like we're doing 2 in 1 day.
You're just giving the secrets away.
You just said we're doing 2 in 1 day, so you gave it away.
Because you said we're back with another one.
No, we're back with another one for another podcast.
Another episode.
No, another episode, another podcast. That's what I said.
Oh, I guess
See,
I did.
he jacked it up.
I did.
So I had to like.
But it's okay. It's okay. That's what we do. That's the only day we have, okay? We're just going to knock it down.
Hudson, you want to tell the people at home what the topic is?
I don't even remember what you were saying. It's you.
Got it?
You know what I'm saying? It's patience. I remember patience. Patience is in there.
Okay, patience equals purpose. This is what
patience equals purpose.
Yeah.
Dissect that for me, sir.
We're gonna get a little personal about life things. I'm gonna take you guys on a journey. A little journey with me. I'm not gonna be too long. Obviously, I only have like 25 minutes, half an hour.
Okay.
With me and like I'm gonna go down the working journey with me. So I think I first started working at Sears 2004. My mom was like, "Oh, I want you to quit football and track. I want you to focus on getting a job." So I was my senior year in high school, so I got a job. I only worked at Sears like 3 months, not even that long. Before I went to college, before I went to Newberry College.
Yep.
So I was there, chilling, doing my thing, whatever. And then I ended up working at the airport, which was pretty cool. Didn't care for my bosses though; they were complete jerks. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, that experience was cool working at the airport. I met a lot of good people there. A lot of great individuals. So it was a very, very extremely positive experience. At least from my standpoint, it was positive. And then from there, I worked at Target. But then I kind of found myself in like a crossroads because it's like when I got a job at Keyhole Tortillos, I was getting a bit older, maybe mid-20s. Started working security. And I always told people, I said, "Oh, black men don't be working security because you're going to get stuck in that job." And I find myself not really having a choice. I find myself working security, and it's not a job that I wanted to have. But honestly, it's a blessing because I met some of the greatest people in the world. When I started working there, so I was like, I met some really good people working there, you know what I'm saying? So it was a huge positive for me to work there because I met a lot of amazing individuals working there. So to me, everything ended up working out from the standpoint of people I met, friendships that I have till this day. Shout out to Stephanie and Tanya. So thank God for the security job. Then it came to a place where it was like, what am I gonna do now? When I started doing security at the John Hancock building back in 2000, I think it was 12 or 11. I think I worked there for like 2.5 years. I was telling myself, I'm at a crossroads in my life, and I want to make a difference with the work that I'm doing. And even though you're protecting people, it still felt like it was empty. So I asked the Lord for guidance and wisdom on what I'm supposed to do next, because I don't know. God put it on my heart, to start working with children. So I was like, oh, really? I would love to work with kids, to make a difference in their lives, to make an impact in their lives. That's something I definitely know that I want to do. So what ended up transpiring was, now, with the opportunity that was given to me, I had there was an opening. I went on, this was my first interaction with Indeed, I believe. And it was crazy because Russell Youth Center in Cambridge, West Cambridge, it was amazing working with those kids. That's when I realized, okay, this is where I belong. I belong working with kids, making an impact in their lives. It was great. Worked there from 2013 to 2016, I believe. Yeah, worked there for about 3 years. It was a great job. Shout out to Nalita. Nalita, whatever you're doing right now in your life, I hope and pray you're doing great. You gave me my first opportunity to work with kids, so I truly appreciate you for that, Nalita. Yeah. And yeah, so from there, I got a job at Medford. Roberts Elementary School as a lead teacher. And the reason why I'm telling you guys all this because I didn't tell you the bad stuff. I kind of just went into the work history. There was a time where I lost patience because when I left Russell, there was kind of like a mini. No, I'm sorry. When I left, it wasn't Russell. When I left, when I left Russell, there was like a mini dark moment there because I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I had to leave. I knew I had to leave Russell. And before I even started working at Russell, when I was working security, I didn't just get the job at Russell. It was a good like 9 to 8 months, just miserable because I was stuck at my job that I hated. I didn't hate the job, I just hated the fact I was pretty much doing exactly what I told black men not to do, get yourself stuck in security. Unless you honestly try to make connections to become a police officer within that field or a security guard, if that's what you want to do, God bless you. I'm not hating on that. But I knew that's not what I wanted to ultimately do. I was doing this to be a provider for my family. That's why I was doing it. But I didn't want to be stuck doing it my whole life. I wanted to be making a difference. I wanted to love what I was doing because I wasn't loving what I was doing. I became miserable and upset. And I was like, God, what is this? Like, nothing's happening. I remember they had the Teen Enrichment Center in Malden. And the Teen Enrichment Center was awesome because it was like, yo, there's teens there. I can go there, talk with the kids, make an impact in their lives. I get there, and at the time, the director, Teddy, was telling me, like, I had like a suit on. And he's looking at me like, brother, this ain't no job interview. So I don't know why you got a suit on. He goes, and he stared at me, he goes, bro, did they tell you why you coming here? I was like, for a job interview? He goes, bro, I literally just hired, the last 2 workers, like, last week. And I was crushed. I was crushed because, so then after that, like, him showing me, the center, I didn't care about seeing the center. I wanted to work there. I wanted to have an actual job there. I didn't care that it was from 2 to 10, it was from 2 to 10 o'clock. My house is right there. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't really matter. I just knew I was going to be working with teens and I was going to be excited about it. And that didn't happen. And I heard a whole bunch of negative things about the Teen Enrichment Center in Malden. And I knew I wanted to make a difference there. And that just wasn't in God's plan. So I was upset. I was saddened and thinking, well, maybe should I go back to school? Like, all these things. And one of my boys actually suggested maybe should go back to school, because it doesn't seem like what you want to do right now is working out. And I'm not saying I almost lost faith, but I did almost lose hope, and my patience just wasn't there. It just, so what ended up happening was, now fast forward back to Medford. This is when things changed. I'm working at the Medford Elementary School. I'm the lead teacher, mind you. Pretty big position. There was still a void there, and I didn't know why the void was there. This is why the void was there. Because I'm making an impact in the city where I don't live. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's great. I don't live in Medford, Massachusetts. I live in Malden. I live in Malden the vast majority of my life. So to me, it's like, it means more if I'm giving back to my city. And that's when I realized, okay, this is my purpose. This is like, my purpose is to be God's light within my city. That's what I want to do. And I want to do that through sports and through the school system. Didn't know how that was going to look. Didn't know how God was going to, make that happen. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. So fast forward, when I got a job at the Early Learning Center, the preschool in Malden, it was like a step in the right direction. Okay, I'm in the Malden school, one of the Malden schools. It's preschool, but I'm in there, And I was excited because it's Malden. Oh my gosh, I got a job in Malden. I was so excited. I was thrilled. And then Joan came up to me, God rest her soul. Joan was like, hey, Richard, you're such a handsome young man, and you're so ambitious, and you're really good with kids. What did you ever think about working at the Linden? I was like, Linden? What about Linden? Like, I didn't even know what Linden School was. I didn't know. She goes, oh, Linden School, school up there, whatever. You should definitely start working there. I said, yeah. Did I have any positions? She goes, yeah. She goes, well, not that I know of, but, I said, Lord, if it is your will for me to work at the Linden School, they need to get me there. Yeah. So all of a sudden, the ELA, the contract with, Alphabest, they cut it off. They want somebody else. And guess where we had to transfer to? The Linden School. In Malden. So this is where things are starting to come out. Okay, Lord, so you got me here. Now, so I'm going to try to fast forward because Hudson has his own testimony to give. So, you know, about your journey, you better be, come on, brother. We're gonna be real about this now.
Oh,
so now, I'm gonna try to speed this up a little bit because I've been talking for 10 minutes. So now, Mr. Hawkeiser, while I'm there working for the after-school program at the Linden School, he comes to me and says, "Hey, Richard, come here." And I told him, I can see you being like a substitute teacher over there. I was like, over here. I'm like, back in my head, I was like, I don't want to be a substitute. I want to do something else. So I was looking up titles, and there was like a behavior management program. I'm like, okay, that's where I belong. I said, Lord, I want to be a paraprofessional because I know I can make an impact within that particular program. So I said, Lord, if it is your will, I won't even talk to them. I won't even let them know that's on my spirit. But Lord, that's what I want. 3 days later, I'm not even lying to you, Mr. Hawkeye comes to me and says, Rich, I know that I told you that I could see you as a substitute teacher, but I could really see you as a paraprofessional here. What? That's God, man. And I was like, wow. And the rest, they say, is history. I literally started working there in 2016, 2017, and until this current day. And then once my 8th graders graduated last year, there was a shift, something changed. I've been coaching basketball for over 10 years and played football, but football has always been my number one sport. I had coached basketball until my knees collapsed. Football has always been my favorite sport. And I've always thought about being a football coach, but I just never thought it was a goal that was attainable because it's not something like I was looking to do. But I said, hey, if the opportunity presented itself, I would love to do it. But I'm like, how? Like, how am I going to be able to do this, Mm-hmm. How is God going to be able to make this happen for me? All of a sudden, for 2.5 months ago, there's been vacancies in the athletic department.
Opportunities.
Vacancies. I seen I was like, oh my gosh. So I threw my name in a hat. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to go out for the assistant football coach position.
It will be done, Lord.
Just going to see what's going to happen, Lord. And it was a process. Got an interview. The interview in my mind went well, but just because the interview goes well doesn't mean you're gonna get the job.
Yeah.
I've been a part of interviews where they went great, did not get the job. So you don't know. All I know is I wanted this so badly. And today, I got a confirmation email telling me that I'm part of the staff and I'm one of the football coaches.
God is good.
Listen, man, if y'all knew what this meant to me, man.
Yeah.
I just wish my mom was alive to see this, man. I'm telling you. Listen, y'all understand, man. I don't know, the journey, I can't really go through what actually happened. All I'm saying is the voyage is just important as the destination is because the voyage makes you appreciate the destination more. Because I never forget where God brought me from.
Mm-hmm.
I never forgot that first job at Sears.
Yeah.
Working at Tello's, working at Target, working at the airport, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. I'll never forget that stuff. To where God put me now,
no,
it doesn't make any sense. It still hasn't registered in my head that I'm one of the football coaches for Malden High School. It hasn't registered.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting paid to coach football. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
really?
He loves football.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I still can't possibly fathom that. I can't fathom that because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't, like, Jehovah Sneaky, once again, has showed up. And I'm telling you right now, for those who are waiting on God, keep waiting.
Patience.
Keep praying.
Patience.
I'm telling you, God is going to provide.
Right.
That is what he does. He provided for me, and he's not done blessing me yet. I'm not like, okay, well, this is it. No. I know my God's going to keep blessing because let's be honest, guys, I don't deserve this blessing. I'm going to be honest. I was like, oh, he owed me. God don't owe me nothing. I do not deserve this blessing whatsoever. But I am thankful, nonetheless, that my Father sees value in me to do such important work.
Yeah.
Because I don't deserve it. I don't. So I'm thankful that the Lord, sees value in me to do something of this importance.
God is
so
good.
yeah.
God is good.
I mean, I know I went a while, but we're just trying to be real for a second.
I
you know what I'm saying?
had to let you.
Hudson has his own little
I mean,
voice.
it's different because God works differently for everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
It works differently for
I
everybody.
don't know if you want to go in about you know.
No.
Whatever you want to
Leave
talk
that,
about.
leave that. This is something
Whatever
different.
you want to talk
This
about.
is something
Because
different.
that's a void right there. We've been praying for a while now.
We're talking about being patient. Being patient, especially when you know you're a man of God or woman of God, patient is gonna be important. God can do everything and anything for those who believe in Him. But understand that there's a process, there's a waiting process, and this is where your life gonna be tested. Your patience gonna be tested. Your faith is gonna be tested. But on the long run, if you're somebody that stay true to God, if you're somebody that stays, solid, and you say, God, I trust you no matter what, guess what? You're going to have the last laugh. Joseph did the same thing. He got sold by his brothers. His life went crazy. Sometimes he probably asking himself, how did that happen? My own brothers sold me. He left his home when he was about 17. He waited 13 years for him to finally become somebody important that God ordained. God was working on his purpose for him. So the key is to stay patient in your purpose of what God's going to do for you, because God has a better plan. God knows best. So what he says right now, it wasn't in the making. I've been talking to him for so long, and he always said the same thing. So sometimes that's why you gotta respect somebody's motivation or goal, what he wants, because God is answering those prayers because He sees where you're trying to go. I may not have understood it at the time, because I'm like, bro, listen, man, you can make your impact anywhere you want to go, because God is not a limited God. Yes, that's true what I said, but that was never what was in His heart. He said, I want to make an impact in Malden because that's where I grew up and that's where I want to do it. So he stayed the course. He's still praying. He's still waiting, and now God is making ways for him. Mine is a little bit different, because I'm a little more like, I want to go places. I want to go different places, But God works differently for those who believe in Him. What God does for him is not necessarily what He's going to do for me. But I know where God, where I've been with God, what God has done in my life, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to relationship, when it comes to everything. And I'm still in the learning process. But the key thing is your patience. Sometimes we're too impatient. Sometimes we waited 2 years. God was about to do something in your 3rd year. And at the end of the 2nd year, you're like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to do it. And guess what? You're back to 0. To wait again. So we got to trust God in the process of life. We got to trust God in our when things are not going wrong. That doesn't mean God is not watching. God is not seeing. He sees everything. But we got to be patient. We got to trust God. We got to pray. That's why one of the things that my brother here, every time he's going through certain things, I don't encourage him to blame God or blame life. I said, let's pray about it so that God can do something, can talk on the situation. This is one thing that we need to do as believers. We have to trust God. Even people that don't believe in God, they trust on something. Either they say, trust in yourself, believe in yourself, you can make it, wish on the stars. That's what Disney sometimes talk about. And a lot of people,
You said Disney.
A lot of people, they believe in something, because men in general always want something to believe in. They want to hang on to something. Sometimes they call it God. It may not be the true God, but they want to hang on to something. But the patience we're talking about is a patience that will be tested. Your faith, your physical body, your mental, decisions that you have to make in life, whether it's for the future, relationship, things that may coming in your life. Sometimes you never expected it. You gotta learn to trust God more. That's why this verse is always the verse that I always love to refer to, is Proverbs 3 verse 5. Because sometimes we think we know, we think we can fix, we think we can understand certain things that are happening, and we're trying to find solutions, we're trying to find answers to those questions, and yet we keep messing up because that was never God's will. We gotta understand that sometimes we going through those pain is to help somebody else tomorrow. We're going through some adversities is to help somebody else tomorrow. It's not only for yourself, because the moment you overcome it, you're gonna gain that wisdom and to help somebody else tomorrow. Now, my brother, he talks about a lot of stuff he went through. I don't have to do the same, but I understand, because he went in on this. He went in the journey. He said you're gonna learn to appreciate the journey, the destination more by how you're gonna approach how you appreciate the journey.
The voyage.
The voyage, or I should say the journey.
Yeah, journey. Same thing. Yeah.
So the destination is just bittersweet. It's just what's gonna be added. It's the benefits that you're gonna have. But you're learning through the voyage, to the journey. That's where you're gonna gain all the wisdom. And when you finally get there, you're gonna see the value of the destination. You know what I'm saying? So now you're gonna reap the benefits, and now you're gonna be an example for others, a model for others, and trying to teach those young kids that's coming after to listen. You have to learn to trust God. The purpose that God has in our lives as believers, He has a specific plan for each of us. Whether you're young, whether you're old, He has a plan for you. But you gotta let Him work sometimes. You gotta let things happen. Job was like, I don't understand why those things are happening in my life. I don't know why I lost all this. His close friend was like, man, curse, maybe because you've done something wrong. You've sinned. Curse the God. Why? His own wife was like, bro, really? He let you down like this? Give up. But he knew the purpose that God had on his life, because God says He's with you, and when He's with you, He will never forsake you.
Never.
So he stayed. Of course, he had to be patient. There was a time he started to question God. He never cursed God, but he was questioning certain things. God, he said, just let me die then. You know what I'm saying? He cursed his own the day he was born, but he never went after God. When he started to question God, God was like, where were you when I was creating the world? Where were you when I was doing this? Where were you when I was doing that? Because God knows it all. He knows best. So here we are. We're talking about patience. I had to learn to be patient in my life. For my job that I was looking for, I was unemployed in 2012 for a while. Yo, my brother, you kind of
Tired.
He tired. I know he's tired. He's tired.
I'm tired, yo.
But we're gonna
Just came from work. He off. He was off today. I just came from work. Okay, I'm tired. Now my sisters want to take me out to celebrate. I love them, but I'm tired.
Tonight? Oh, it's gonna be
I'm
great.
about to go home and
It's gonna be
celebrate,
great.
man. I'm tired though.
But listen, understand this. 2012, I was out of job. This is the biggest test of patience I had. 2012, around March, April, I lost my job. I did not get a job until September 2012.
Yep.
So I went on that gap this whole time, frustrated, talking to God, praying, and nothing was happening to me. My mom was like, I'm gonna pray for you, trying to give me advice. My brothers was like, yeah, man, stay focused. Find, apply for jobs. It's like God was teaching me something that I didn't have in myself, and I applied. And every time I applied, I get an interview. I would go to interview. My name, Hudson Charles. When I got there, they're like, oh, they weren't expecting. What they saw. You know what I'm saying? And then I get no job, because I'm respectful. I'm educated. Thanks to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to be proper. You know what I'm saying? I know how to blend in. So, but when I got to the interview, I didn't get the job. So I was like, God, I did everything right. Why didn't I get the job? So I kept praying. I waited. But every time I'm on the brink to give up, God give me a revelation and say, I know my plans for you. Why you worried so much?
Mm.
And in my word, I said that I take care of the birds. They don't work, yet they exist. They eat. Why can't you just trust me?
Well,
So I had to sit down and reflect a little bit on the goodness of God, you know? And then when I was gonna get that job, I did not even have an interview. When the time came, they just called me in the office. They only told me, okay, I see your resume, you're qualified, when can you start?
look at that.
I was like, that's it? They're like, yeah, when can you start? I already see everything that I want to see. Do you have any questions for me?
Wow.
They were asking me if I have questions for them. So that's how, when I'm like, God, you're funny. I said, God, you're funny, because I'm like, here I am now, preparing myself every way they're gonna ask me questions, and then you make it this easy. So the thing is, the key of all this, the lesson in this is that when your time come, when it's God that's about to operate with you, it's gonna be so easy. Even you'll be like, I don't understand what just happened. It's gonna be so easy, effortless. You don't have to force anything. God just operate, and you be like, this is God.
Well, yes, that's it. I mean, that's exactly when I got that confirmation email. Like Hudson just said,
Yep.
that was God. And I was there for Hudson. A lot of people don't say I was there when he went through that journey. It wasn't easy for him.
Yep.
You know, he was going through a very, very rough time at the time, you know. So, I even was telling him maybe you should do security, you know.
Yeah, he did. You did say that.
I did, yeah. You know, just to, you know, sustain your family. Yeah, man. But you know what? God had a plan for him. You know, so the voyage, like I said, is just important as the destination.
Yeah.
You know, and God's not done blessing him. You know, like he's very
just getting started.
highly favored at his job. Like they go to him for advice, not the bosses.
Yeah, I'm not even the boss now. Hey,
They go to him.
everybody come to him.
They go to
that's
him
a lot
for
of God
everything.
that's in me.
I mean, that's insane. Like they go to Hudson for everything, bro. Like, you know, it's insane. But yeah, guys. So anybody out there who's struggling or waiting on the Lord,
Right.
keep waiting.
Yeah.
Cause like Hudson said, could have been like 3 months away, and you pray for 2 months. It's okay. You know what? I'm done. Be patient. Hudson and I are living examples that God
Patience
exists.
Yeah.
And patience. And I wasn't always like the best patient guy. Like, oh God, I trust you. You're gonna have frustration.
Yeah.
You're gonna be upset, because
Yeah.
I was frustrated. I was annoyed. Like on last Thursday, because they said they're gonna hit me up on Thursday, and I didn't hear anything. I was at the gym. I was upset. I was like, man, I probably didn't get the job. Like I was upset. What's going on, Lord? I was so frustrated. I just wanted to go home and want the day to end.
Right.
That's how I knew that was.
Yeah.
But look what God did, man.
God is good, man.
Jehovah's sneaky, man.
God
So
is good all the
I'm
time.
telling you right now, guys, please be patient.
Whatever it is.
Be patient. And I'm telling you right now, because patience equals purpose. It does. I am a living, breathing example of that. So is my brother over here. And there are many other individuals around the world that can testify the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So please, guys, don't give up. If you just have faith in God and know that He's going to come through for you, the voyage is just as important as the destination. Because when you think back to the voyage, like, you know what, God, look at where you brought me out of, and look at where I am now. Look at what you did for me. Not that I deserve it, Lord God, but that just shows you how much you love me. Despite myself,
Yeah.
you still blessed me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's good, man.
Just like the song says, don't give up on God, because He will
He won't
never
give up on you.
give up on you.
He's able.
And everything.
He's able.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that you're working on right now, you're waiting on right now, whether it's relationship, whether it's job, whether it's a career, whether it's God, you want God to give you more anointing, you want God to give you a lot of things. Just trust Him. Have faith. Be patient. Because God is a God of miracle.
Yes.
God is a God that when He's operating, He's like, this is extraordinary. You're like,
Yeah.
what is this? What's going on? Even your haters gonna be like, that's God. Because there's no way this kid can do this. Something is working for him, and then that's when you say, it's God.
It's God.
So God is always in control of everything that's going on. You got a business going on, you're going on down under right now. Things are tough. the country, the world is going on. You know, COVID's going on, and a lot of difficulty. A lot of people are struggling, but God has a plan. Just trust God, and He's gonna make things right for you.
Yep.
I guarantee it.
Yes. So, God, once again, we thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that we were able to help somebody.
H&R.
And just do not forget.
Yeah.
Do not forget, okay? Patience equals purpose. It's important, guys, okay? God bless you.
Believe in God and stay blessed.
Take care.